back from the night, and as I said earlier in today's reel, I want to talk about lust. Now, I myself used to really struggle with lust, and I think most people do, even if you don't realize it. The thing about lust is it usually overthrows the other emotions. And it can get to a point where you move your moral line in order to fulfill that lustful desire. Now, I'm not talking from experience when I say that. I did struggle with lust. A lot. But I wouldn't say that I've ever moved around or played with my morals in order to fulfill that lust. Now, I know that some people do, and I can't judge them for that, because if you look at the world that we're growing up in, most of us are growing up in, or most of us have grown up in, the world is really, it's just everything. It's all about lust. It's crazy. It's lust, greed. People don't realize how serious and how much or how common, I'd say, the 7 deadly sins are in our everyday lives. It's scary, actually, and most people don't even realize how much of their day consists of the 7 deadly sins, and that may not be out of acts, but just the things that they face every day and the things that they see and all of those things. It's crazy, really it is. And it honestly is very sad to think that most people, and from my experience, most men falter when it comes to the control over their lust. But the thing about lust is it's also just another emotion. So as a man, for example, if you can't control your emotions, I'm not surprised by the fact that you can't control your lust either. I don't know how it is for women. I know that there are lustful women out there. I'm not saying all of them are. But I do know lust is more common in women than I think. I think it's much easier for a man to be lustful. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I don't have that kind of experience to be able to tell you that. Yeah. But as I say, it's everywhere. But I am very grateful for the fact that I have been able to overcome lust. And that only came from my desire to have emotional control, right? So if I walk into a club, I don't think, oh, how many girls can I kiss tonight, or whatever. I'm just there to have a good time with my friends, right? It's really freeing to know that when I talk to a woman, I don't think at all about anything sexual with them. Now, I'm not saying I'm never gonna do anything ever again with a woman, don't get me wrong. Although I do like the idea of celibacy, I am realistic as well. Of course, I'm not gonna go sleeping around. I believe that my next relationship would be the right time for me to do something again. Up until that point, I have absolutely no desire to do something like that. Right? Because you're giving your energy away for absolutely no good reason, right? Like, there isn't a valid reason for you to just be giving away your energy like that. There really isn't. So, yeah. It's not the act itself that I don't like. It's the fact that you can just waste your time and energy like that, right? Now, you could argue that going to a club is also a time and waste of energy, but it feels rejuvenating, you know? I personally don't think I would feel any better about myself if I were to spend the night with a woman that I don't know or don't love, right? That's just my opinion, though. Obviously, opinions differ. And I'm not better than anyone. Like I said in most of my videos, I'm not better than you for having overcome my lust. But rather, I'm sharing this message because I want the people that are struggling with lust to know that it's possible, right? You don't have to be controlled by your emotions. You don't have to do the things you do and potentially feel shame afterwards for that. For men it's called post-nut clarity. I don't know what it's called for women. I don't know if women even have it, right? I'm just spreading my message and documenting my journey. But I feel like I've got a lot more to say about this topic. I don't think I have all of the right words right now for it, but it really is something that I wanted to talk about. Because people don't realize how big of a catalyst lust is in the everyday life. I really don't think people realize that. I'm not saying no one realizes it. I'm saying I think majority of the population doesn't. But I think I'll continue this conversation with you, or this message with you, another time when I've got more knowledge about the subject and more personal experience from getting over it and all of those things. So then, that is everything for tonight. I hope you have a great night further, and you sleep well. Goodbye.